said, they're gonna cost the top. Okay, we are live. I call the meeting to order. The reason I am calling the meeting to order, I got a call from Luke Phillips earlier, and he has been caught in some traffic, and he may be here, he may not be here. Of course, our vice mayor resigned last meeting, so I'm gonna open the floor up for nominations for vice mayor. Do I have any nominations for vice mayor?
I'd like to nominate Jamie Tuggle.
Jamie Tuggle, I got a motion for Jamie Tuggle to be vice mayor, got a second by Tracy Boyd. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. Come on over here. Come on over here, Jamie Lou.
You did accept that? Should accept the nomination, Mr. Hunter.
Yeah.
Luke wasn't caught in traffic, as Luke was caught from that.
Well, I know, but then he said he was gonna try to get here, and he didn't go for traffic.
They dropped a huge beam on the house. That was up here.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah, you're gonna do great. You just go over this and
You're a natural.
you're the.
Okay, let's do the invocation and the pledge, please.
Who you want to do the invocation? Who you want
Brad.
Dear Lord, we come before you, thank you for this day, God. We thank you for each and every person who's here. Lord, we would ask that you would lead and guide every person on this council, Lord, in every decision that they make for the betterment of our community. God, we ask that you watch over and bless every person, all the attendees here today, and give us all of your strength in Christ's name.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first thing we will do is welcome all the visitors here tonight. Council meeting. Okay, second thing is the approval of the agenda.
Has everybody had a chance to go through the agenda?
We're talking about last month's agenda.
No, the approval of this agenda. We had yeah. We have a motion to approve this month's agenda.
Do I have a
I'll
motion to
make a
approve
motion that we
the agenda? Okay.
Second.
Motion made by Joe,
Motion
second by
made.
Tressa.
Motion made by Joe McLaughlin, seconded by Tressa.
All in favor?
All in favor, vote aye.
Motion passes.
Motion passes.
Same on the next one.
Second thing will be the approval of the minutes for the meeting of January the 11th, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve the next January.
I second it. Okay, motion was made by Terry, seconded by Tressa. All in favor, vote aye.
Motion.
All right, motion passes. Next, we will do the payment of the bills. Has everybody had a chance to review it? Almost.
John, you, in this past month, you paid that bill, you just made a payment. Yeah. We've been paying for some time, you said this was your last payment.
Well,
Tell us.
I put it in my town manager report. What happened is the USDA rural development. We've had this finance up here that many of you all know up Indian Creek where our water project's at. Of course, the sewer through the county, but we've been paying on that. I would say 30 years, maybe 35 years. Probably, I think actually ever since my dad was on the board of supervisors, probably 40 years. But anyways, has got slowed up this year due to COVID. Raleigh from Moss they were all in. So, I was contacted by her name was Leslie or Lisa Moran from Richmond with BDH, and, our terms of agreement, anyways, because that money was already set aside for that payment, it was $2,729. Of course, we've never received our audit from Raleigh from Moss yet, and, I felt like we just go ahead and pay that off, so I went ahead and paid it off this week. The rest paid off. So it was like $9,800. We took it off on the report, right?
Do we have a motion to approve the payment of the bills?
I make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Terry Stevenson, seconded by Joe McLaughlin. Motion passed.
That's what-
All in favor, say aye. Motion passed. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the scheduled speaker, Miss Ginger Brent.
Hey, congratulations, Jamie. I'm here on behalf of CART. Every year I come and request funding, which is a matching grant from the Virginia Commission for the Arts, of a $500 match. I have done that for the past 30 years, and I certainly appreciate it. The town of Cedar Bluff actually is one of the original towns that have had continual funding since that grant actually started. You know, so the grant is due April 1st. And I will get with Missy, who she actually does it, and make sure that we get that applied before April 1st. So I do need from town council that we apply for the grant.
You need that motion.
Would anyone like to make a motion for this?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Trustee Boyd, seconded by Terry Stevenson. All in favor, vote aye. Motion passed.
And while I'm still here, can I ask one other question? I just found out that I need to ask John about the street light that's on 460 on East Hillcrest Drive. It's burnt out.
Okay.
You know, and it's very difficult to turn into that area because it's pitch
We've
black.
got several street lights out, and the way you do it now, you go online and you put them in, Terry can vouch for me on this.
Oh,
It's been
okay,
reported,
okay.
but I don't know what's the problem, because we've got a couple up Middle Creek, don't we, Terry?
One up Indian Creek.
One up Indian Creek, and, you know, of course, they keep sending us the bill every month, we keep paying them, but they're not fixing the problem, you know
Oh,
what I mean?
okay,
So,
okay.
is it-
Well,
is
I
it
didn't know if there was
adjustable light?
something that our neighborhood needed to do to
Right.
report that, and I told everyone I'd be more than happy to do that
Oh,
since I was coming tonight.
Thank you, no, it's been reported, hasn't it, Terry?
Yeah. We've been.
Okay.
Well, maybe the more that reports it, the better they'll get on it.
Right?
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
one or two
okay.
People, have everybody
Yeah.
report it.
All right, I can do that. That's not any problem.
Gotta get them on the ball.
Yeah.
All right.
I got his number on the pole that I'll get off and give to you when you come.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you're up, Ginger, I was gonna ask you, Dr. Willis had emailed me, and I spoke with him on the phone about the Winter Honey Festival. Ron Ward, I believe, is going to come for a leadership class on the
Yes, over at
21st.
the Art Center.
Are you
Uh-huh.
going?
I am.
Okay.
You know,
It's
so I hope that y'all will come.
Yeah, that's what he's wanting. He's wanting several council members to be there. It's free to attend, but of course the literature at the end will be for sale that you'll have to purchase if you're interested. But the class is free, correct?
It is, it is.
And this will be at 7 p.m. on Monday, February 21st.
And it'll be over here
At the,
at the Art
Old Mill.
Center. Yeah, the Old Mill.
Yeah.
So come, I think you'll really, and I think it'll be very informative.
Actually, I gotta let him know about how many people are gonna be there, so he can have the number down. So I told him I would definitely be there, 7 p.m. on 21st. It'd be a good thing for several of us to do, show support.
All right. Thank you very much.
You too, thank you.
Oh, you mind if Deb takes a picture?
No,
on Facebook page?
Yeah.
So y'all smile.
Hey, let's give the devil horn sign. Yeah, the devil horn
Thumbs
sign.
up.
Hey,
I promise I won't use them as much shots.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Okay, secondly, we have any public comments this evening?
Chief?
No, he decided not to.
Oh, okay.
Tim Altizer, 205 Old Kentucky Turnpike. It's good to be back. It's been a terrible year. Things have been much better, and I'm extremely happy to be here. Tonight I'm going to offer something I think is fairly straightforward for your consideration. One thing I've noticed as I've watched these small local governments is that many times citizens and its employees, when possible, clear black and white policy needs to be developed so that those affected by the policy know what to do and when they want to do it. One example of that policy in our town is the following. The employee handbook states that upon termination of an employee, it will be up to the town manager's discretion as to whether the termination. Not only does this policy not get written, it actually creates it. It opens the door to claims of discrimination, favoritism, nepotism, undue influence, retaliation, and more. My suggestion for your consideration is to direct the town manager to rewrite that portion of the employee handbook to state that upon termination, an employee is either paid or not paid their earned unused vacation time. There would be many benefits to this. Discretion would be removed. The town manager then knows exactly what's expected of him to do, and the employee make no claim against the town because all employees will be treated the same. Thank you.
I think it's a good idea, good policy. Mr. Altizer hit me up at the post office about it. Really, it's a loophole, it's a slippery slope for me, and I don't know what was ever added that way, but Mayor, if you want to ask for a motion or something to, I think we need to do a vote on that as a board. Do that. I'll work with Brad on getting that language changed in the employee handbook.
Would anyone like to make a motion on that tonight?
Mayor, give me a moment to, if I may interject. I would suggest council consider the maximum amount of vacation time taken. I concur policy should state absolute, in absolute terms, one way or the other. So if it is a move to create policy that pays vacation time, which is common and recommended, then there should be a maximum value placed on that. So I just want to put that out there for consideration. And we'll work together when if you want to do modification of the employee handbook, if you want to do like, you run the mayor, you're the mayor, you run the show.
So when an employee is hired, I guess, are they told if you have so much vacation time per year, by the end of the year, do you have to use it or lose it?
No, it carries.
It carries up. So if they don't use any vacation time for 5 years, vacation time per year, by the end of the year, do you have to use it or lose it?
No, it carries.
It carries up. So if they don't use any vacation time for 5 years, like you're saying,
You can carry
It carries to 240 hours.
240
maximum.
Max, yeah.
So if anybody quit or left at any given time or whatever,
And they had the 240. You really don't-
240 is the max.
Right. Yeah. And that's the same way with sick time.
And now you can carry 6 weeks. You have 6 weeks vacation.
Yeah, it's
You can hold
240
over 3. Well, it's not the same way it used to be, I'm sorry.
It's 240.
Used to be, Tim put it on at the beginning of the year, now you put a day on.
Now it's averaged in to each
Right.
2-week pay period.
Right, so.
It's like 3 hours every 2 weeks or a week. How is that? Been here 2 years. Right. It doubles after your second year. Your first year's like 374 every 2 weeks. On your vacation, and then after your second year starting on your pay checks, you'll see it on your vacation. It's 6. What is it? 6.
67, something like that. You get, the first year you're here, you get $40, and after that, it's 80.
And then after your 5th year, you get 3 weeks vacation.
So 240 hours max
Right,
is what we're trying to figure out.
right,
Take the discretion away from you as to whether to pay it
Right.
or not pay
buy the refrigerator.
it. Buy the refrigerator. That's a real estate. Okay,
I'll make a motion.
We need some clarification on motions. I think we need to be stating this as a little bit clearer.
take what you're making a motion.
What the motion is that would be to,
Well, see, I was going to, but I can't word it. So like,
We have a motion. Would someone like to make a motion to make changes to the employee handbook regarding vacation time at the end of an employee's
That's mouthful. I'll make a motion.
employment?
All you have to say after she states it, so moved.
So moved.
Yes, so
Okay.
moved.
Would anybody like to second that?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Trent Boyd and a second by Joe McGraw. All in favor, vote aye. Motion passed.
Okay.
Got that. All right, do we have any other public comment tonight? One? Okay, let's go to the town manager's report.
All right, first off, me and Mr. McLaughlin, we met with Baycorp. They have been after my business here at the town hall for 3 years since I've been here. And we've always dealt with Versa, Virginia Risk Sharing Association, or VOL for that matter. So they still have both names. I don't know why some people call them Versa, some people call them VOL, but it's the same company. It's on a general liability policy. But Baycorp said that they can save us an average of 15% a year. That's what they said. So we're paying roughly close to $10,000 every quarter for all of our insurance. It was with Versa when they came in here a few months back, and they went back and looked at them, and a lot of municipalities have even with Baycorp. And the guy that runs Baycorp, he's like a bridge to Baycorp. His office is in Anaheim, right, Joe? His name is Byron. Byron was his name, wasn't it?
You're talking about, you're talking about the man in that list? No, he's from Wise.
Wise.
Yeah.
I have Joe there because I said Adam, but he's from Wise. But anyways, he's the one running it through his office and all of it on the Baycorp. So it was with him was from Richmond, correct? Yeah. So anyway, they said they could save us 15% a year. It's something that we can look at. The only thing I worry about, now they swore up and down that cyber policy was so much better than versus cyber policy, but I'm telling you, anytime we've ever had a problem at all with anything, you call us or being legal, whether you need to talk to an attorney, like Brad Stout from Penn Stewart, or you get a special, I mean, sometimes 15% savings really have 15% savings, you know what I mean? You get what you pay for.
Sometimes you get a little bit, you get a
Right. So,
30% increase next year. Why don't you ask Brandon if he's coming?
Yeah.
What's his name?
oh, yeah, being so great salary. I can't. I'll reach out to Brad and ask him. I mean, I'd hate to make the decision, right, but I mean, 15% is a pretty good in the job.
Well, my thought, after you said that, is if we do have a problem in that situation in that area, and they have said that they'll be just as good or even better.
Right.
That's what they said.
The only problem is we still got one outstanding lawsuit right now that we're sort of, that will keep stay with VOL Versa. That will carry forward to state court because it was pre-existing. But Versa will still have to maintain that suit, on the negotiations, depositions, and all that.
I'm trying to get some references, John.
Okay.
Let's make sure before we, Mr. Wilson, give tonight.
Yeah, I just want to bring that to your all's attention. And I emailed you all a AIG retirement services. It's a 6-year renewal. It's a formality. and, her name was Melissa, that I was talking with. And all we gotta do is basically approve it, and then I just gotta make sure I have to approve when Missy does the minutes to send it in to them to get it approved, taken care of on their retirement. Everything's gonna stay the same. That's for town employees throughout. That's who we go through that. So, like she said, it's a 6-year renewal. So I mean, we'll need a motion for that to renew that policy through AIG Retirement Services.
Would anyone like to make a motion to renew the retirement through AIG Retirement Services?
I make the motion to renew the contract to AIG Retirement Services.
Okay, we have a motion made by Terry Stevenson and second by Trish Boyd. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay.
All right, one more thing
Yeah.
here. Taxes, I've got a ordinance here that I got Mr. Rapp to look at. Of course, we'll probably have to tweak this ordinance some. Is in the town of Cedar Bluff to certify regarding local taxes. Do you want to talk about this, Mr. Brown?
Ultimately, we had a draft of that ordinance been circulated, and it's been reviewed by council. Council appears to be in favor of that ordinance. Mr. Absher has pointed out today we've left out the issue of past due water bills or water utilities. There's some broad language in that ordinance that indicates utilities as a rule, but I think for clarity's sake, we need to add that language prior to vote. I'd recommend tabling it until next time, or if you like, it is possible to pass it contingent upon adding language to include water bills entirely.
That's the only utility that we have to deal with, isn't it? We don't sell electricity.
No, it would be water, sewer, and back taxes. Yeah. Do you want to table it to next meeting?
Need a motion to do that?
No.
No.
Okay. We had to replace the computer on the back for the water department. It was $1,400, but we'd spent money on the backhoe. Of course, on my next thing here, we got that corrected. Sometimes you lose, and then sometimes you snooze and you win. In this case, Rutherford Moss has had us held up, I'd say, what would you say, Missy, 7-8 months with their audit?
Oh, yeah.
At least. Well, in the meantime, even though I went ahead and paid off the rural development, USDA rural development on the, even though the money was already in May, we went ahead and paid it off. We was doing a water metering project that we got put in last year, and we was waiting on our audits to come in. So in the meantime, if you all remember, we dipped into our credit line through MCMB Bank to go ahead and cover that. We was waiting to get the audit in, get our financing in. And of course, part of that was going to be reimbursed, but it was going to be like a 70-30 grant. We was going to have a payment for 20 years on that water. They're waiting on us. So it's 100% grant. So we don't have to pay a dollar back. We got $56,330 for VBA. So like I said, sometimes you snooze and you lose, but this time we snooze and we won. So thank you, Rutherford Moss, for not giving us our all. So anyways, it was a win-win for us on that. And so it all worked out. The town will be conducting a smoke test a little later in the year, and we're going to put notices on the water bills and Facebook just to notify the citizens, because most of the time when you do smoke testing, people start calling in their house is on fire. So you got to let them know, don't you, Terry? We're gonna have to also, we've got some water lines that we think that may need upgraded. So we're gonna go through Crossroads Engineering, but we'll probably have to sub it out, with Ramirez or Portland Utility to get some cameras put down our water lines just to see where the problems are to our hard to reach places. We're gonna have to do that. Of course, I'm gonna talk about the Honey Festival, this grant and there. And then, AJ Robinson contacted me and Jawbone is wanting to partner up with the town of Cedar Bluff. We're gonna do all the advertising and rack cards, do all that. I thought that was a win-win, you know, for the town of Cedar Bluff because some of our neighboring towns are not interested so much into the Jawbone. So AJ said she would help us with that. And she's been great to help us here at the town. Of course, we advertised for a pre-auditor with Clinch Valley, the Voice newspaper, and Bristol Herald Courier. Those are not due in until February 25th of this month. I did get one phone call from Seattle, Washington. Let me see. Oh, we had a major water leak that we had to repair. It was on January 28th of 2022. It was cold. It was freezing outside. It was Rick, Robert, and Terry from 11 p.m. that night to about 5:30 Saturday morning. Our water tank, if it would have lost maybe another gallon and a half of water, we'd had to went on boiled water.
Another foot of water we had went on.
Boiled water. Yeah, it was the 6-inch line that actually runs right below your all's house. Y'all was probably been asleep, didn't even know it, Ginger. But it was right there on Cedar Valley Drive, right below. But anyways, that happened. We got that taken care of. And then, it was cold at night too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've been in discussions with, Carol Doss from the Upper Tennessee River Roundtable. They want the view maybe going away with or come in and see what we can get worked out on taking the dam away up here, near the transfer station. So I didn't see it. And, so anyways, we'll have to get that looked at with Carol Dawson up at Tennessee River Roundtable. And, I do need a motion on this. The fire department, Barry Patton, called me and they was needing to order, AED defibrillators for the fire department. It was $1,126.39. I will need a motion on that, Mayor.
I'm gonna go back to that other thing. Why do they wanna take the dam out?
Well, she's gonna come in and, of course, you know, I don't know. I mean, I have to with her, but she is coming in probably in a couple of weeks. Darian with Crossroads Engineering knows Carol Doss. I really don't know Gina may know Carol Doss.
No,
I do not know Carol, but
I'd be concerned about the flow of the water taking
yeah.
the dam out.
She will explain it to you.
She'll explain when she comes. She's good. That's what Darian said. He's working that hard.
And when is she coming?
I'll let you know when she comes. Exactly. It may be 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I mean, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll get a motion for that amount right there. 11,2639 for AED defibrillators.
Okay, I need, one of our council members, if you would, to make a motion for AED defibrillators in the amount of $1,126.39 for the fire department.
I'll make a motion.
Sorry for me, I believe this is new for maintenance, to bring them up to spec, maintenance reconditioning, new AEDs, $9,000. So I'm thinking this is just to make this fees to get it back up to spec, and get some back to the same.
He asked me when we do it right there, we get a motion on it. Just,
Yeah, well, you said for new AEDs.
oh, my bad, guys.
This is just for the maintenance.
I thought that was right cheap.
Well, if you get one,
We're jumping all over that.
Okay, so we have a motion. Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Trustee Boyd, a second by Terry Stevenson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
And now, the next one is, next one is the golf. Right.
I'll put you, the council has evaluated an ordinance that was previously proposed involving ATVs on the highways here of the town and golf carts on the highways. Ultimately, it was determined that in the best interest of the town to divide these into two separate ordinances and golf carts on the highways. Ultimately, it was determined that in the best interest of the town to divide these into two separate ordinances. This particular ordinance is designed exclusively for the use of golf carts in the town limits. The golf carts require licensed drivers. They also require, they've got provisions, we've got provisions in here for a number, that you have to be on streets less than 35 miles per hour. I think folks have a copy of this, take a look at it if anybody has any questions about it. But it has been segregated from the ATV. Yes.
I have a question. We had that ordinance last month. Is this revised with you?
Yes.
You revised. and
This is
that's what
revised
you
to
had
being exclusively involving golf carts.
Brad, on the first page, it says off-road vehicles. And it also says that on the second page, on the
It is
number
entirely possible that I missed
19.
that. Where is that? Oh, I see.
second paragraph on the first page, and then it's on,
Yeah, that is a recitation that has no bearing on the ordinance, but any other language probably would.
it would be taken out.
Yeah, take that out, but that is a recitation, so ultimately that was overlooked. Where's the other location?
Number 8 on the second page, all persons operating an off-road vehicle shall require.
Yeah, that has to be corrected, that's an error. Ultimately, that should say golf cart, and,
Because we have an off-road ordinance right here that's next.
So-
Right.
the town will provide permits for folks who want to drive golf carts on the street. So that is going to be a requirement under this ordinance, and that hasn't been explored in terms of cost. But this is in line with Virginia Code 46.2, 916.2, which permits golf carts on the
Will they have to get a special permit to ride this?
Code 46.2, 916.2, which permits golf carts on the
Will they have to get a special permit to ride this on?
Okay. Brad, I'm just curious, kind of trivia. Are mini bikes covered under this?
No.
This is golf carts, only golf.
Okay. Are mini bikes covered under this?
No.
This is golf carts, only golf.
Okay. Actually, that's supposed to be on the other ordinance. But also, it doesn't seem to me like it states anywhere whether you can have 2 people in a car, 4, 6.
It has to be whatever that vehicle's designed for. And in fact, I can clarify that, but in the statute itself, there is a reference to the use that is specified for the specific vehicle. So if it's got 4 seats, then it'd be reasonable for 4 people.
Well,
6 would
what
be
you
outrageous.
usually see is somebody riding in the very back. Like Joe's buddy, they got killed.
And this is only permissible in the daylight, but not at night. And also, authorize town police to write any reckless driving or any other type of violation of Virginia Code 46.2, which is the traffic code.
That will be put in there too.
So it's on the
It's already
Does that have a provision in it? What the license will be,
No, that's up to council.
we have to determine that.
Right.
We'll talk about that too.
Brad, do we need to put the 5-mile radius in there?
That's under 46.2.
Oh, okay, because before it said town Cedar Bluff, so.
And it's only on streets that are 35 or less. And they're only permitted to travel at 25 miles an hour. Max.
Brad, you were saying streets, is this road going through here, out by the high school considered a street?
It is,
Yeah, okay.
and it is 35 miles long.
Anywhere within the town limits.
Yes, sir.
That's what you're saying.
Mm. Requires posting of signs if it's passed, so that's an expense. But that expense obviously can be offset by a permit requirement.
I suggest that we table that tonight and, we go through revisions and come back next month and look at it, and we need to determine the fee. And we need to talk about that too.
They can be incorporated into the ordinance as well.
Ordinance.
Yeah, if council so desires to include it in the ordinance, we can include it in the ordinance.
Brad, if you'd help me on this number 6, I've looked at it, I guess when I look at it, I think, well, does that mean a child can drive as long as you've got?
Well, this one does
Well,
say, or
that's-
accompanied by a licensed driver, we probably need to take that out. That language came from another town ordinance that I read.
And also says, the way I read it, you can have a child actually in the golf cart behind you. Right.
Yeah, we'll take that out. I
Drive.
think it makes sense to get it out. Yeah,
Driving
Right.
yeah, we'll take that out. I
Drive.
think it makes sense to get it out. Yeah.
driving another golf cart?
Yeah,
I can
but
approve-
it's the same situation as a golf cart.
Yeah. It's out, we'll take it out.
Yeah, we need to table that tonight and work on that. and That's getting clause in it. So we put that on it, what is
Well, I just have a question as a grandparent.
Yeah.
My grandkids are small and they have little toy four-wheeler thingamajigs. And when I'm walking around the neighborhood, they're usually on that. So
We're taking them to
that
jail.
would be, am I gonna get a ticket? Am I gonna get a ticket? I mean, they only, they're 12-volt battery things.
No, you're fine.
Oh,
The goal with these is to try to open the town up for more tourism.
yeah,
And, there were proponents on the council for the golf cart ordinance and of course for, the ATV ordinance, which is in compliance with working with Spearhead Trade.
oh, sure.
So this one we're gonna table, and folks need to give me some feedback in terms of what we
Prior
propose to change. Folks need to give me some feedback in terms of what we propose to change.
Can I
Yeah,
ask a question? Put a fee
you can,
in there, and it's in the ordinance, we won't be able to actually change it all again.
you can always bring it up.
You should be,
I didn't know if we should do it separate or what.
Well, we can, I'm not trying to. The amount of money we're gonna charge for the yearly fee for that. Can you put something in there which is amount of money we're gonna charge for the yearly fee for that? Can you put something in there which is subject to change?
Yes, sir.
That would be. Yeah.
The second ordinance, of course, is the off-road vehicles, and this is drafted on the model that is used by the town of Hayside. And has been used for the off-road vehicles, and this is drafted on the model that is used by the town of Hayside. And this is drafted on the model that is used by the town of Hayside. And has been used for the last 5 years as part of their use in cooperation with Spirit Trails and with their Ridgeview Trail System. This is almost verbatim. It's not exact, but it's almost verbatim. It's been, I've edited it to fit what I think is our specific need and relations on here. The ATV ordinance requires licensed drivers. It requires people who have a spearhead trailers permit, which requires a sticker on their helmet or on the machine. It requires liability insurance on the machine.
What, you might have just said it, Brad, what's that age limit? Just a licensed driver?
Licensed driver.
Now, with those ATVs, don't you think we ought to put something in there concerning alcohol?
There's already a prohibition to alcohol for use of the machine on spearhead trails, and that's in violation of Virginia Code 46.
If we're riding over.
All of the existing, all of the existing traffic code is incorporated into it. There is an edit on mine, but this came out of, that's where that came from on the golf cart, was that came out of this haystyle ordinance.